Fine. Evening, Bill.
Evening.
This has been a rather hectic year for the two of you, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. It's been a wonderful year. One of the most wonderful things about it was the birth of our baby. And then Bill has done 5 big special television shows, and I've just returned, as you said, from shooting Anatomy of a Murder.
Lee, while you were making Anatomy, you had a chance to work with an old friend of mine, Joel Welch.
Oh, yes.
Tell me, how would you rate lawyer Joel Welch as an actor?
I rate him at the top of the class. He was just wonderful and a marvelous man. He was a great gentleman, and I must say he and Mr. and Mrs. Welch both were our favorite babysitters in Michigan. They took care of Kate on many an occasion. He's a wonderful gentleman. All the time that I knew him, and as well as I got to know them both, I would ask him time and time again to please call me by my first name, and he'd say, "Yes, Miss Remick." Never failed.
Bill, it must be rather nice to have the lady of the house back home again, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I got so tired of those frozen chicken pies. Let me tell you, it was awful. While she was away, I kind of left the house just sit the way it was until she got back, and so since then we've been doing some decorating. It's about 3/4 finished now. This is the living room. And there's my marvelous Bing Crosby chair over there from the first show that I did with Bing last year.
Oh, yes. Lee, tell me, just how old were you when the acting bug first bit you?
Well, the acting bug was not the first one that bit, actually. I started as a dancer, and I studied dancing from the time I was about 8 years old here in New York. And then my first jobs were as a dancer, but then I began to get little bitty acting parts, and I got to like that an awful lot better, and I was better at it, so that took over.
Bill, how about you? How did you happen to drift away from medicine to musicals?
Well, the drift began in a little town in Minnesota called Hoka, of about 500 population. And I lived there till I was about 18, and then when I went into the Navy, my family moved to California. And so when I got out of the Navy and went back out to California, expecting to go back into medicine, I suddenly decided I wanted to go to work in pictures. So I went up to Fox one day, and happened to be the day in which somebody had just quit. And so I went to work on Monday.
By the way, who does the baby look like?
Well, it's, it's all sort of split up.
Both.
You wouldn't happen to have a picture around, would you?
Oh,
No,
would we?
of course we do.
A few thousand.
They're in here in the dining room, which is, as yet, a sort of incomplete room. We have everything but dining room chairs, no place to sit down and eat, so it makes it a little awkward.
And in here I happen to have, as I say, a few hundred pictures of you-know-who that I haven't had time to hang yet. So I'll bring out my favorite that I took when she was up in Ishpeming with her mother. And there's herself.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's wonderful.
One of our very favorite collections is this of these ancient heads from Greece. These first 3 are 5th century BC Greek heads, and the other 2 are 5th century BC Roman heads. They're quite lovely and our very favorite.
Have you and Bill ever thought of working together as a team sometime?
Oh, yes, we hope to very much. We're looking, for something to do together, either on the stage or in films or in television.
Well, other than plans to work together, what's the big dream in the Remick Colleran future?
Well, getting back to the back 40, it's a farm. We would like to have a really great working farm someplace here in the East, probably in upstate New York or western Connecticut or western Massachusetts, but a place that really is a real farm in which I can, get back into the dirt and all that stuff.
Lee, what sort of farmhand do you think you'd make?
Well, I'd love to make a try at it, but being a New York girl, my only experience with the wide open spaces has been kind of confined to Central Park.
She's not exactly a pioneer type.
Not exactly.
Thank you very much indeed, Lee. Thank you, Bill, for letting us come tonight.